Oh, and I can claim the dreamer from the dream. Hi. This is gonna be a very short message. I don't have Tara here, and I'm gonna explain why. This morning before I woke up in the sleeping dream, I seen a figure who represents to me joy, happiness, fun, and joke. It's a figure who doesn't take life so seriously. He can make fun of absolutely everything. But at the same time, if you really look deeper into that person and into his energy, you realize that he's not just a joker. He really does know things. So it's not like toxic positivity or just fun and play or everything. No. It's a very well integrated person that really in between darkness and light chooses to personify light. Why? Because he can. He shows up in my life occasionally just to let me know that life can be fun too, you know? By the way, with that energy, there was also a song that showed up in my dream, which I didn't hear. I know that song. I didn't hear it, but I've seen it. I've seen it visually. It was as if the music was spilled into colors. It was happening in the air as I was dreaming. And the song is Favorite by, I always forget their name. It's not Washington, D.C. What's their name? Fountains, D.C. Fountains, D.C. I have to go check my phone. So, Favorite by Fountains, D.C. Very happy song, isn't it? Well, that song was playing in my dream, and it's good that it did, because I absolutely needed it. As I woke up and I went through the day, I've encountered a very dark and sticky energy that found me not directly. So nothing like, hi, I'm a sticky energy, would you like to have a chat with me? Nothing like that happened. That energy came around and around and had some very, very sneaky ways of getting to me and getting my attention. And in the nature of that energy, it is that it wants to consume you. It wants to take your attention. It makes you want to talk about it. You want to get to the bottom of it. You want to understand it. You want to share it with other people. You want to make a point. You want to be right at the end of the conversation. It's just like it consumes you. It fires you up a little bit. But it's not a positive awe, and it's not a pleasant, comfortable, fun energy. It hurts you. In one way or another, or at least it drains you. If it doesn't hurt you, it drains you. But at the same time, you can't just like that let it go. It's heavy. It's heavy. And so while I encountered that energy today, I of course wanted to do a reading, and I started to do the reading in the middle of the day, and then I got interrupted. The energy got shown clearly what it is, and then my reading was interrupted. And I was told that I don't have to do the reading. However, because the nature of the energy is so consuming, I still felt fired up to try to do the reading till the end, at least for myself. But then again, I was interrupted. I kept thinking about it, and again I was interrupted. I was interrupted every time when I was indulging in it for the sake of trying to prove something, for the sake of trying to resolve it for myself and find peace in my mind with it, for the sake of, I don't know. You tell me. Why would you indulge in something that consumes you and drains you and doesn't leave you fulfilled? And you know that there is no win-win situation with this energy. There is just no. I was told to remove myself from that energy. And again, I was told life can be fun as well. While I was still processing that energy, I went for a walk and I was outside in the nature. And as I was having the walk, I managed to quiet my mind for a second, tune into the energy of trees, and I was somehow pulled up and out, where the quality of air changed. Honestly, it felt so much easier to breathe. The air became crystal clear. The water that I drank was crystal clear and perfectly cold. I felt refreshed. I've seen colors, I've seen light shining through objects. It was beautiful. And to be in that headspace was really beautiful, and I would prefer to stay there. It was one of those moments where you're so deeply immersed that you kind of just, you don't want to have enough of it. But my physical body remembered the dark energy that I've encountered before, the sticky one. Even though my mind was clear, my body remembered. Here I was shown that I'm speaking to somebody who recently, and by recently I mean yesterday, 2 days ago, 5 days ago, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, some really, really big change happened in your life, to the point where you don't operate the same way like you did until yesterday. There was some shift in your perception, or you gained enough awareness to see the way you used to operate and the way you used to relate to the world, the way you used to think and the way you used to feel or regulate your experience or just operate your experience in human realm is shifted in really big way. I'm not talking about physical move, for example, moving into another country and starting a new life. That's not what I mean, although it might be included. See for yourself if it resonates or not. This is more on an internal level. It's more subtle on the outside, but it's really big on the inside. It might become obvious to you that you are now living in this space within yourself where you've never been before. It's not fully unknown to you. It's not like you've never seen it in other people, but you personally, you never operated from that space before. However, your body still gives you signs that it remembers operating in the previous paradigm. So your body might give you signs and symptoms of remembering how it used to be, kind of in a way as if it expects and it wants to prepare you and bring you back into what previously was. It's kind of like an echo in your physical body, but it doesn't mean that what used to be is still present. It is that your physical body is recalibrating itself onto your new state of being. And for me personally, today when I was feeling this in my body, I was told just to breathe. Just breathe. And I literally just sat under a tree and I was sitting and breathing. And from that, naturally, I was introduced into the situation where interacting with something new or somebody new, something unusual, something that is a little bit different than anything that you ever did so far. Maybe speaking to somebody new, it doesn't have to be a big deep conversation. It can just be an encounter with somebody that your body doesn't associate with how things used to be. Is already enough to move the energy in that new direction. Even after I completely shifted out of that energy and I heard very clearly from the world around me throughout the entire day, step away, lighten the load, kind of like let it go, zoom out a little bit. You're missing out. You're missing out on what's beautiful in the world right now. What is fun? What is joyful? What is that? In other words, this is also coming to me right now. Instead of what are you moving away from, is what are you moving towards? And embrace that energy. So, yeah, breathe. and have fun. And I have stopped recording because I already did the whole message, but then I realized that when I mentioned the fountains they see and the song that was playing in my dream, which was Favorite, and the way I saw it in the dream was, as I said, it was like colors being in the air. I literally, when I channeled this red, blue, black and white storm oracle art collection, there is this one tile that is called Painting of Time, and it literally speaks about music and how music is basically a decoration of time. It goes through time and it goes through air, and if you have synesthesia, then you can also see how sound travels through the air and how it decorates it. And the point of this tile was also, this is how it came out, is that when you fold it, you can see it and observe it however you want. It doesn't need to be a tile. You can see it from this perspective, or from this perspective, or from this perspective, or from this perspective. You can see it just partially, which now tells me that, I don't know, maybe there's something in the lyrics of that song that might speak to you. What was the lyrics that remained with me? Hold on. Did you know I can claim the dreamer from the dream? Yeah, check that song. I find it very happy. And there is something about taking fragments of either that song or another song or music that currently speaks to you. Any music that you feel right now, you feel it really connected, it's literally the soundtrack of your life right now. Listen to it. Listen to fragments of it that stand out to you, that are basically the way that the world is communicating with you specifically, and that the spirit is communicating with you, and or that somebody is communicating with you telepathically through those fragments of the songs. It's either through lyrics or through the specific feeling that it gets invoked in you as you are listening to the song. Listen to music from your teenage years or from your younger days that you didn't like. Songs that, if you heard those songs at particular times, you didn't like those songs, those were not your favorite songs, but if you now go back in time and listen to those songs again, there might be something for you. Because you might see them, feel them, perceive them in a very different way than you did back then when you had strong aversion towards them. I also see how some songs, especially some pop songs, have very negative emotions coded within the lyrics, and how that indirectly can impact your well-being, and how sometimes you can bring your awareness to it and be mindful of how music that you are used to listening actually affects your emotions, and not just emotions, but it also plays a role in what's going on around you. There is something about identity being based off of the music that you're listening. See how the music you're listening actually shaped you, and see which role the music actually played in who you are, and how do you present yourself, how do you carry yourself, how do you feel, what is it that you like, especially strongly your likes and dislikes. Because music is, in your energy body, is kind of like a jewelry that you're wearing. It can make you prettier, can make you more confident, but it can also, I heard, make you or break you, which now shows me the negative aspect of the music that you might be listening, and how the music actually might be responsible for some things that I'm not gonna say don't seem to be going your way, but they definitely have an impact on your well-being to some degree, especially if you're used to the emotional cues of the music and you are listening to music on the autopilot. Yeah, I'm back now into this vision of your energy body and the music as a jewelry. There is a certain music that really protects you, that serves as a protection. I don't see this as good or bad or anything. It's just how it is. And also calls for protection. Exactly. So not just that you need to evaluate the music in terms of what type of role in the construction of you it plays, not just to eliminate the unwanted aspects of your life that might not be so good to you, it's also that you can use music as a protection. This is a bit weird. I'm not gonna judge it as weird or not weird, but the music you listen to runs through your blood and makes you part of the collective. I mean, you're part of the collective either way, even if you would never listen to anything. But I don't know why is this coming to me, but there is a message that if you're on the path of individuation, if you are striving to carve your own way, find your own unique path and your own unique way of being, then you definitely need to look how music connects you or disconnects you from others that you want to connect or disconnect with. Music is playing a part in this. I'm hearing clear your spaces, and I don't know how that relates to anything, but I need to get it out just so I can keep going. I get the smell of a coconut oil that is being applied onto the skin. I don't know how that has anything to do, but take it as it speaks to you. And I see a face of somebody who speaks in the music, but very, very quietly. Somebody sings or speaks in the music, but very quietly, almost at the whisper level. And my attention is being pointed at that, and that being something that you might want to pay attention to. I'm again being drawn to the shape of your being and observation of how and which music shaped the way that you are on a deeper level. Basically, it brings me now to the big picture of this tile, and that is to find joy, pleasure, and fun in music. Find joy, pleasure, and fun in realizing how music actually impacts you and how the music, exactly, how the music paints the space and time and the air around you. And it comes with a message of appreciating music, not just listening to it partially, in terms of you listen to the part of the song, exactly that one that you like, but giving space and have appreciation for the whole album or the whole music from the beginning till the end. It really points to holding space for music and for yourself as you're listening to the music and having respect and appreciation for it. But more so to really pay attention how it colors the air around you and how it fills your spaces. Now it makes sense to me when I said clear your spaces, because music does leave an energetic imprint in the air around you. Interesting. Just like it definitely leaves an imprint in who you are and how you are. I did not expect to be scrying from this tile, as I already finished the message that I wanted to say, but it was an interesting experience. I hope there was something that you found useful or meaningful or whatever you needed at this point in time. Thank you for being here. Ciao.
You were my favorite for a long